Me, I'm yeah. Listen, me, I've been famous long enough to understand how it works. But I'm talking about these people. They just came out of a reality show, right? And they go
Well,
from
but then to my point where I understand what you're saying, but it's like again, it's a matter of how important you make yourself be.
yeah. But how do you know what to do, right? How do you know? Hey, Tokyo, nice. How do you make yourself whatever? If listen, 3 months ago you had 50 followers, and what you come out of confinement of reality show and you have 10 million followers.
No, it's nothing prepares you for the 10 million followers, which is so super abstract. So it's like even your mind
Exactly.
can compute what it means, but then you can't also compute what it means to also have to deal with the contracts and the sponsors and everybody coming to you and you. So of course that guy is going to go through. He's probably going to lose all his money, whatever. I mean, I wish him the best, but it's very
Yeah.
likely that this guy's going to fucking lose everything. If he
Especially
does
that he's 21.
exactly. So it's a recipe for disaster. But with that being said, I believe that we can attest as you have been more famous than me, or more famous, definitely more famous and famous longer than I have been. But the little fame or little exposure or presence that I personally have, man, I've heard so many people tell me, "Oh, you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't say that. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that." And it's like at the end of the day, when you start, it can be terrifying because you don't know how to move anymore. Because it's like, "Oh, I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't say this." Like, but then you still are a human being, so you have to learn to be poker face. It's a process, man. It's a process, and also it also becomes. I think again in our cases we are not necessarily the best of examples because we've been known since we were kids. I mean,
Yeah.
up to our parents,
Yeah.
and the sons of, the grandsons of, whatever. It's like, I mean, it's a different kind of like, notoriety, but
Yeah.
girls have been feeling us for quite some time. Désolé,
Damn. Sorry.
désolé.
So
Man, no, it's not easy, man.
there's something I want to touch on, and I think it's an important conversation that I'm probably gonna have with a lot of artists because I see a lot of zouk singers and singers in general that are losing their head. Listen,
DJs too, man.
I
DJs
don't
too.
know if it's 2020, the COVID part, but a lot of people lost their mind.
100%.
A lot of people like mentally got
Effed up.
jujuzão.
Je sais.
What it
Aïe.
do? I hope you are not listening to us naked. You have to start having an etiquette of how you watch because you also have to respect us. Um, so as I was saying, I believe that a lot of people are not prepared for this job.
Are not or are prepared.
Are not.
Okay.
DJs, artists, singers, rappers, beat makers, whatever. A lot of people they choose this job, entertainer, because they are artists and they want to make a living from their art. So it becomes their job. And they don't treat it like a job because they continue to treat it like a hobby, or they continue to treat it as a passion. And it's a business. And I see a lot of artists after 10 years in the game, 20 years in the game, 35 years in the game. People who started very early, people who started late. I see a lot of people who are damaged from the game because of, yeah, listen, interaction with other humans, because of not understanding why the public stops loving them, or just gets used to them, and they are not as excited as to see you as they used to be. Or maybe you used to have shows with 5,000 people and now it's only 500 people. Like, a lot of people, they were not ready for the longevity in music. Or a lot of people, I'm not gonna say, a lot of people represent. She's back.
Yeah, like up on them.
A lot of people are not, they are not built for this on a long term. Listen, a lot of people, they're not even ready to have a hit, because surviving a hit, it's even worse than not having a hit. If you never know what it is to have a hit, you are dreaming and you're working and you're working, and maybe you make a little name for yourself, and then you grow and you grow and you grow. You have people, you do shows, you have a great career without a hits, but you never become famous. You always keep a job on the side, so you keep having a balanced life, and you know. But when you have a hit song, all of a sudden the people, they are looking at your song after they hit differently. They're like, hey, it's not a hit, but it's a good song. Yeah, but it's not a hit. Huh? I'll have to do hits all the time now? Yeah. If it's not a hit, we don't. And all of a sudden, your relationship with the radios change. Your relationship with the promoters change. Your relationship with your managers changes. Everybody's saying, yeah, you need a hit. And you're like, what? No, I want to make music. No, you have to do hits, because it's business now. It's only business. And the fans are worse, because they're like, yeah, it's a good song, but hey, you didn't promote it well or whatever. And you're like, and you have to think to yourself, like, okay, why do I do this for? Am I running after hits, or I'm working on building a catalog, or I'm just enjoying my art, and I don't want to, be forced into doing commercial things to make money. And at the same time, you have to find the balance in all that. And a lot of people, they don't ask themselves these questions. They just want to be loved the same way they used to be loved 20 years ago, when most of the people who were 15, 14, 20 years ago are now 34, 35, 40, 50. And they have other things to do. They have husbands, they have women, they have children, they have a job, they have other things that divert them from the obsession they had on the celebrities they loved.
But also, I think it's a common sense thing. It's like no relationship is gonna have spark all the time. You gotta understand there's gonna be a phase that goes a little bit down, and then it's gonna pick itself back up, But when it goes down is when you actually have to be the strongest, And it's like, but at the same time, okay, it's like you've got to go through it in order to understand it.
You said something very important. You said it's a common sense thing.
Yeah.
95% of the artists I know have zero common sense. I'm sorry.
Absolutely
Like,
zero common sense. I agree.
there's a lot of people, they are super talented, and that's it. They have they have an amazing voice and ability to create nice melodies, and that's it. Other than that, no common sense, no business sense, no long-term vision, no long-term strategies. They just believe that I'm an amazing singer, so I deserve to make it. Yeah, but you in the market with other amazing singers, or less amazing singers but that have better melodies, or people that can't sing but they know how to use an auto tune or AI or whatever. In the end, the market decides. In the end, people have, back in the days, they had money and they had to choose what they buy. Now they have 24 hours, and in these 24 hours, they decide what they listen to, or what playlist they play. And you cannot be frustrated by that. You have to understand how it works so you can understand where do you put yourself in there. What is going to be your strategy for that? How you going to release, how you going to move in social media, and how you going to use social media to your benefit. And most of these people, they don't use social media to their benefit. They only use social media to either promote or complain about their greatness and what they deserve. And to me, it creates a bunch of broken people.